1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And right away, he'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off at the 48. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
A pass there complete to Westbrook. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Looking to throw. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end,
fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
That'll be taken about a yard deep.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And they see no sense trying to press here. They take the knee and going to get this one into the locker room.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. Taken in at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that
he rifles one that's intercepted.
Oh, we got plenty of fun, baby.
Alexander with a pick. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. Well, maybe a small measure of revenge for this defense because they have been thoroughly dominated so far, but a brief bright spot there with that pick 6.
Seemingly coming up for air after being dominated as you described. They get a nice play there. Probably not going to change the balance of this game, but they have to feel a little bit better about themselves after that one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Number 6 brings up 2nd and 4.
Again, it's Fournette. Room here to run. There he goes, left side.
They should have put a stamp on me in the line.
Jaguars. Leonard Fournette with touchdown number 23 here on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Josh Lambo to kick off for Jacksonville.
And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point tacked on by Lambo. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. And the lead will swell by one more. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Get him. Nice 57's right. let's pin the mirrors back.
Again, it's Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? After the penalty, it's Mixon. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
4th and goal, and down by a touchdown. The offense stays on the field. They'll go for it. Burrow. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Kamale Correa came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it. 60 Bison.
2nd and long. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal.
Eluding the pressure right. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
The kick by Lambeau is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive, but you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, it's just not as much space. You end up having to take 3 there.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
The pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
First down, Cincinnati.
70 Lions. Man, I got you. Man, I got you. 47's the mic. 47's the mic. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Mixon with a first down carry. And some room to work. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Joe Mixon. Room to run past midfield. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Back to Mixon on first down. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This is Mixon. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, where was that all game? Or maybe he's just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they got to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The ball mere inches from the white line on 3rd and goal. Here's Mixon. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And 3 yards on the carry there as his defense holds strong and takes it to 4th and goal. Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. The kick by Sanders is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. On the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second. And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Looked like it might have been intercepted, but he's out of bounds. And a good thing, too, probably. That would have cost him yardage. And now they'll get the ball back on the turnover on downs. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Carl Lawson in there to bury him for a loss of 11. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
5-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
Here we go. Here we go.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
49, check 49, check 49. Hey, check 24, watch 24.
On second down, here's Mixon. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. That's going to set them back 5 yards. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That is 3 plays and out. It's 4th down.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Let's take it inside his own 40. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And they'll indeed take a knee. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Jags, the win is number 9 for them on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Indianapolis Colts come to town. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll be at home for one next week